Everyone, what's up? It's me, lo-fi musician and producer, Blue Sirens. And this is where I hang out on the internet and talk about anything related to music. It can be comic books, anime, gear. If it's any of those things, you can find it here. And today, I want to reflect on the first song that I released in 2025 called Study Space. Now, before we dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe below. So, let's dive in. So, in 2025, one of my goals is to try to always release a song every 2 weeks. And to plan for this, I started writing Study Space back in November, early December of 2024. My music distributor likes to have my music a month in advance so that it can get sent to Spotify and other streaming services a little bit sooner and hopefully increase my chances of being able to land on an editorial playlist. So I needed to get it done within like a 2 to 3 week window of when I started in November, because it had to be sent out at least a month in advance. And this came out, I think, January 6th. So I was kind of crunching on it all the way to the very end. And I do need to give a quick shout out to the community of lo-fi producers that follow me, because being able to send this song to them to get feedback was super helpful. But the song itself is a very minimal song. I made the piano part for it several months ago and kind of just kept it in my pocket, knowing what eventually I want it to become, which was going to be a song that had a space kind of vibe or theme. I saw this pixelated art style on Threads, and I saved the image to my desktop, and that was kind of the inspiration for it. It's this image of a girl studying in space on like a space station, and I kind of wanted to just carry that same vibe over into the song. Now, the artwork I have for it, made by Arts of Win, is completely different. They did see the original photo that I had saved and drew some inspiration from it, but it's vastly different, not only in perspective, but also in style of the art. But that was really the inspiration behind it, is that thing I saw on Threads. So another piece of inspiration that led to the creation and also the overall art style was Universal Audio released a new plugin that has these different kind of music boxes or boom boxes. It kind of changes depending on what you set for a preset, but each one of them have a unique and different style. I'll put a screenshot of what it kind of looks like below and a link to it as well if you want to check it out. And most of these are some sort of distortion or compressors, and I used mostly the sweeten or thick one to be able to make the pianos sound the way that they did. Looking back, I kind of made some of these pianos a little bit more detuned than I probably should have. And I did use the RC Color plugin, also screenshot of it right here, to detune it, and I went a little bit overboard because I wanted it to kind of have like that tape lo-fi vibe. Using tape saturation and that tape effect is kind of something I've incorporated a lot more into my style over the last 6 or 7 releases. So I wanted to still have it in the song, but I also wanted the song to have not so many like harsh sounds, and the tape kind of lent towards that. So that backfired a bit, but it was definitely a good learn. And while I did want it to be a minimal song, there are different elements I could have added in to it, because all it is just piano notes, and either I could have added a contrasting flow or melody or pattern of piano playing, or maybe a little bit more Foley. But my thinking was, this needs to kind of be very minimalistic, and there's not that much stuff in space, so there needs to be a lot of empty space, and I could have added some Foley in there to kind of, try and amplify what was actually happening piano-wise in there for some variation. But overall, it's pretty simple, and I think almost going too minimalistic with it, we have a narrower idea of what should or shouldn't be in the song. So that was a bit of a drawback. But overall, it did land on some pretty good sleep playlists. Unfortunately, no Spotify editorial playlists, but nonetheless, some sleep playlists that I think it found a pretty good home on, and it's still doing pretty well. Every 2 weeks since I'm releasing a song, I kind of stopped promoting the first song, Study Space, that came out early this year, and my latest song, Warm Lights, is what I'm kind of promoting right now. And since then, Study Space has still been getting a decent amount of plays, even though I'm not sharing as many playlists that it's been added to since I'm promoting Warm Lights. So I'm happy with the reception of it, the feedback that I did get. Not all of it was helpful, but some of it really was, and that I'm definitely putting into my filter for how I'm writing songs, and now I'm mixing them and what elements need to be there or not be there going forward. But what do you guys think? Have you listened to Study Space yet? If you haven't, it's going to be coming up at the very end of this video. You can also find it on Spotify and all the major streaming services through the links below. And don't forget to leave me a like and a comment with your thoughts. Until next time, peace.